On the 20th of August 2020, Russian opposition figure and anti-corruption activist Alexei Navalny was poisoned with a Novichok nerve agent and was hospitalized in a serious condition. During a flight from Tomsk to Moscow, he became violently ill and was taken to a hospital in Omsk after an emergency landing there, and put in a coma. He was evacuated to the Kurite Hospital in Berlin, Germany, 2 days later. The use of the nerve agent was confirmed by 5 Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons certified laboratories. On the 7th of September, doctors announced that they had taken Navalny out of the induced coma and that his condition had improved. He was discharged from the hospital on the 22nd of September 2020. The OPCW said that a cholinesterase inhibitor from the Novichok group was found in Navalny's blood, urine, skin samples and his water bottle. At the same time, the OPCW report clarified that Navalny was poisoned with a new type of Novichok, which was not included in the list of controlled chemicals of the Chemical Weapons Convention. Other prominent Russians, especially those critical of the Kremlin, have suffered poisoning attacks in the last 2 decades. Navalny accused President Vladimir Putin of being responsible for his poisoning. The EU and the UK imposed sanctions over Navalny's poisoning on the director of the Russian Federal Security Service, Alexander Botnikov, and 5 other senior Russian officials in the State Research Institute of Organic Chemistry and Technology. According to the EU, the poisoning of Navalny became possible only with the consent of the Presidential Executive Office, and with the participation of the FSB. An investigation by Bellingcat and the insider implicated agents from the FSB in Navalny's poisoning. Russian prosecutors refused to open an official criminal investigation of the poisoning, claiming they found no sign that a crime had been committed, and the Kremlin denied involvement in the poisoning of Navalny. On the 17th of January 2021, Navalny returned to Russia from Germany and was detained at Sheremetyevo International Airport for allegedly violating the terms of his probation. On the 2nd of February, his suspended sentence was replaced with a prison sentence, meaning he would spend over 2.5 years at a penal colony. Alexei Navalny has previously been attacked by chemical substances. On the 27th of April 2017, Navalny was attacked by unknown assailants outside his office in the Anti-Corruption Foundation who sprayed brilliant green dye, possibly mixed with other components, into his face. He said he had lost 80% of the sight in his right eye. He also said that his doctor believed there was a second corrosive substance in the liquid and that there is hope the lost eyesight would be restored. He also alleged that the attacker was Alexander Petrenko, a man who he claimed had ties with State Duma Deputy Speaker Pyotr Olegovich Tolstoy. Navalny accused the Kremlin of orchestrating the attack. Another incident occurred in July 2019, when Navalny was arrested and imprisoned. On the 28th of July, he was hospitalized with severe damage to his eyes and skin. At the hospital, he was diagnosed with an allergic reaction. Although this diagnosis was disputed by Anastasia Vasileva, one of his personal doctors, Vasileva questioned the diagnosis and suggested the possibility that Navalny's condition was the result of the damaging effects of undetermined chemicals. On the 29th of July 2019, Navalny was discharged from hospital and taken back to prison, despite the objections of his personal physician who questioned the hospital's motives. In August 2020, in the days leading up to the poisoning, Navalny had been publishing videos on his YouTube channel in which he expressed support for the pro-democracy 2020 Belarusian protests, which were triggered by the heavily contested 2020 Belarusian presidential election. Navalny had also written that the kind of revolution that was taking place in neighboring Belarus would soon happen in Russia. Local news site Tega.info reported that during his Siberia trip, Navalny had been carrying out an investigation, as well as meeting local candidates and volunteers. When asked if Navalny was preparing an exposé shortly before he became violently ill, Navalny ally Lyubov Sobol stated, "I can't reveal all the details. But Navalny was on a work trip. He wasn't relaxing in the regions. The video investigation was later published by Navalny's team on August 31. It is assumed that Navalny was poisoned in a politically motivated attack as punishment for his opposition work. Other prominent Russians, including activists, journalists, and former spies, have suffered poisoning attacks in recent decades, such as Alexander Litvinenko in 2006 and Sergei Skripal in 2018. Both in the United Kingdom. In the former instance, the poison was administered by being placed in Litvinenko's tea. British authorities blamed both attacks on Russian intelligence agencies, and an inquiry concluded that